but you can never guess with these things. What's important is that you know it's going to go to zero, which I'm so sure. And at some point, I'll put my thoughts together in a long form, kind of like piece of some document of some kind. But for now, I haven't looked at Adobe in a while. I'm ashamed of myself. But thank you, Harish. You gave me a good excuse to look at it. Another Indian CEO. I think you can assume, the weird thing is Andrew left, went to prison, or he's got indicted over short selling. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was a little bit crazy, like McCarthyism. You know, so I want to be pretty careful about disclosures and stuff like that. I think I'm going to talk to my attorney. No, I haven't talked to any oncologists, but I mean, I know oncology really well. It's you're sort of better off not. I mean, I don't know. Are you better off not even shorting it? I mean, there's good money to be made, but this is honestly just trying to help. These cassava bowls are so stupid. It's so obvious they're all brand new to the stock market. And they're just like praying and hoping that they make a huge return. There's no such thing as a 4-year cycle. You know, that's an imaginary thing Bitcoin people made up to try to like, I don't even know, it sounds so stupid. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a pro, all right? I'm a fucking pro. All right, so when I hear noobs doing noob stuff, I hate that. Fucking hate that. Matt, who's Matt? Oh, Matt, yeah, it doesn't seem like he's a real person or that he's going through something. I honestly think he's going through something psychological where he wants to set $70 million on fire. It's so weird. Hell yeah, I'm a GM. It's so weird. I've kind of seen this before where people let their emotions get better of them, but not at this scale of money. Like, people will make it, I've seen people make some mistakes like that, actually. I've seen it. I had a friend, I won't say who, you guys might be able to figure it out, but he basically bought 20% of this drug company that was making a cancer drug. And he just did it because somebody pitched him and he was riding high in the market. He had made a ton of money. And he really didn't know drug stocks from any other kind of stocks. He did not make his fortune in pharma. In fact, it really had nothing to do with pharmaceuticals. Sure, I know Empower. You want to look at Empower 150? The Empower, or a ton of Empower studies. These are Roche, Atezo, Lizumab, aka Tecentriq. I remember when these studies started. I remember when Tecentriq came out and Roche was caught flat-footed in the PD-1 race. So if you use Avastin, frontline with chemo, you get 8.3 months. If you just use chemo, sorry, Avastin, Tecentriq, and chemo, 8.3. Just Avastin and chemo, 6.8. Well, the theory, there is a small benefit, one. I mean, right here it says, you know, PFS was better. It's 1.5 months, not a huge amount. They also say in this TEF high population, which is T-cell effector high population, you get a really good response, 11.3 versus 6.8. But Yeah, OS is often confounded in these clinical trials. That's why they look at PFS. You know, the point is that the standard of care for non-small cell frontline for a long time was beva carbotax. So atezo and Keytruda are new drugs relative to bevacizumab, obviously. So, I mean, ultimately, I do think that, you know, it's a surprising data set. It was within one trial, so you just have to kind of respect the fact that if the results are not fraudulent, you did have a clinical trial. Oh, what's up, Zug? I love Switzerland. Zug and Zurich, my favorite places. Also Basel. So within one trial, assuming there's no fraud, you did have within one trial, the Summit drug vastly outperform the other group. And so you kind of have to respect that within one trial it did happen, no matter what other trials show, right? You did see that. So why would we doubt that the benefit's there? That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is, remember Opdivo was outfoxed by Pembro, which was a year and a half later, right? So don't assume Summit will win this race. That's one thing I'll shoot that over on. Is it PDL1 or PD1? I'm scary PD. No, the idea, as you may know, is that the one arm of the VEGF is bound to the cell because the PD1 arm is bound to the cell. That's the theory. I'm not sure in practice that actually happens. And I don't know that it matters. Like, the theory is like you're not going to hit the vasculature, you're not going to get the side effects of those, of like the VEGF freely circulating antibody. But I think the bispecific is freely circulating too, and that's just kind of a theory. You know, it's their theory, but I don't think it makes sense. But the other question then becomes, how do you explain the results? You know, fluke, fixed. You know, China's come a long way. You know, it's not the same place it was 10 years ago or 20 years ago. I would love to go to Switzerland, but I can't. Maybe next year. I'll let you know. So I don't know. I feel like you don't have to trade every stock. That's the trade and invest when you have an edge. Get comfortable saying, look, I don't have to be in this one. Why do I have to be in this one? Because everyone else is in it? I don't know that the it's China thing is the thing anymore. And I don't know. I do think you get some like very amorphous benefit from having it in one agent. Of course, Roche had this big incentive to get Avastin as standard of care. Avastin never added very much in lung. Yeah, I like Iova. Yeah, what happened with the comparator arm is the question. And again, flukes do happen. And if you look at the censoring of each, there's a whole bolus of patients. That data is not mature. That data can mature and look pretty ugly. Tesla versus Nvidia for the next 5 years. I don't know. I like both of them, but they're not like my favorite stocks. I think they'll both do well. And again, the next 5 years, it's tricky because you can have recessions and market downdrafts for 10 years. We just haven't seen them lately, so we're all kind of, you know, used to gains when it's very easy to see profound losses for a long time. That's why I like to advocate and teach about short selling. People think there's something wrong with short selling or there's something unethical about it. Listen, where I'm from, you gotta protect your neck. It's survival at all times. You can cry about ethics and portfolio and what's fair and what's not fair later. Get this money first. Rule number 1, just make money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. And if you got a problem with that, you shouldn't be investing. Go march for Black Lives Matter or something. Leave me alone. You know, competitors aren't the only thing, Kami. It's very hard to get CRISPR into muscle tissue. Cassava phase 3 is near the end of the year. I think Tesla is a bet on Musk doing something innovative, and I think that's probably... Yeah, I wouldn't bet against the guy. Seems like he's pretty good. So why is Adobe down? A little too close to home on the OpenAI model. I've been around that hoop for a little bit. But yeah, I think it's good. I mean, I think it's tricky to work with. It's not as like always right as maybe ChatGPT, but there's a lot of moving parts there. It might underwhelm some people, given, you know, depending on their expectations. Yeah, John, it's better I don't ask those questions. I have a good following on Instagram. I gotta make more posts on there. I gotta go. I don't know. I haven't been in the people that follow me or the accounts I follow. I don't think most of my followers are guys on Instagram. Shut up, kitty. Oh yeah. The people I follow are all just babes. That's what Instagram's good for anyway. Socks, stocks, it's all the same. Kitty's worried about the Haitians. ADCs are great. I mean, what's there to say about ADCs? They're major new treatment modality. It's 20 years old at this point. It's not that new. The Gooner. The Goons. Any ties to Epstein? No. Never met the guy. I think he fooled a lot of people, though. You know, a lot of people... Yeah, I'm going to talk AD carry. That's right. My Lucian is a beast. Yeah, I try to check in with every stock like Lexicon, but the problem is I have to run my software company. So for me to just constantly be looking at stocks is not something that's really that viable for me. I do enjoy it. Dan Dern. Almir, good morning. Amazing growth for Adobe, man. It's an amazing company. They always kind of always find a way to win. It's like really just well managed. So this guidance was disappointing. Maybe it's just conservative. I could theoretically start a drug company. It's just not really my interest. I don't have much spare time. No roommates. Come on. Deal with Skhreli here. Roommates. Rather jump off a bridge. Sometimes I have women stay with me for like a week or two at a time. Your 10 is my 5. Keep that in mind. No, I'm just kidding. Little Nibbles. Bon Jovi. What a hero, right? China. China. I don't date 10-year-olds, so that's good. You do about 30 years for that one. Unless you like 35-year prison sentences. China. You're worried about my things. Get out of here. Scram. Government funded apartment. Amazing. Poor guy's mad at me because I'm rich. It's your boy. I use a Mac at work. I use Linux. I mean, if it's a computer, I use it. Visiting South Africa, yeah, maybe someday. If I could move anywhere in the world, where would it be? I can move anywhere in the world. I like New York. I do like Switzerland. I just have US citizenship. Sure, I could get Albanian citizenship if I really tried, but there's suburbs in New York. Esperanto is a language. Oh wait, so is this the fiscal? Yeah, I got these fiscal quarters backwards. Let's see. Fiscal Q224, fiscal Q324, fiscal Q424. Yeah, I know, no cap gains. Switzerland's the best. So much money in Switzerland. But nobody turns up in Switzerland. There's no black people, so there's nothing nobody's turning up. There's no Galaxy Gas. There's no club. There's no rap music. Of course I look at Swiss equities. I love Swiss equities, actually. Roche, the Basel Heroes, and Novartis, Nestle. Roche and Nestle are only traded in Switzerland. Lindt. There's Credit Suisse, which is now gone, so it's just UBS. There's a whole bunch of, there's Straumann, but there used to be Synthes Stratic, but Synthes got bought out by J&J in a very interesting deal. Zurich. Rest in peace, Credit Suisse. Oh, I should do that in a rap song. That'd be good rap. Rest in peace to Credit Suisse, my favorite Swiss bankers. Gone too soon, gone too soon. Rest in peace, Rich Homie Quan. Rest in peace, Credit Suisse. I had a lot of money at Credit Suisse. They were good to me. They would take the Skhreli dough when nobody else would. There'd be a guy at Credit Suisse who'd be, look, I want to deposit 10 mil. He'd be like, come on back. Yeah, UBS, good to me as well. Shut up, kitty. I hear her. I hear her meowing. Who are you talking to? Shut up. Man, when it's her time of the month, she goes crazy. You sound like a turkey, kitty. What you doing? You sound like a turkey. Yeah. Does the audio pick it up? Does the mic pick up this insanity? What are you doing? You're clucking like a chicken. No, I've never been to BIS Tower as far as I know. I'm not the kind of guy that looks out for, like, sites and stuff like that. I don't know. I never know what celebrities or anything like that. Oh, I love you too, kitty. Yeah, I do. Elon is no longer following Grimes. What a romance. Just getting my ducks in a row here on Adobe real quick. Sucks I haven't looked at it in so long. It's such an important company. Yeah, I do see the RPOs slowing down quite a bit there. Yeah, sorry I didn't stream yesterday. I've been feeling pretty sick, actually. I'm still not 100%. Lantheus, sure. Paramount. I don't do merger arb. Maybe I can look at Paramount, but they're about to be delisted. All that work for nothing. Yeah, Hims is interesting. Okay. I swear to God, this stupid kitty. Shut up, kitty. Nobody likes you. You're a bum. My parents never liked animals until I went to jail. I had to give Trashy over to them. And and Trashy, they love Trashy now. My mom doesn't speak like perfect English, so like I just send her stuff like "love you" or whatever, and she'll send me like broken English back. And then I sometimes ask her, I was like, "Does Trashy love you?" And she's like, "Yes, yes," and she'll like give me a heart emoji. It's pretty cute. All right, so Adobe's definitely have to drill down on the guidance, but. Shut up, kitty. My dad, who passed away, he'd always say, and he passed away about a year ago, almost to the day. I think it's maybe, I don't know what day it was. Like, I can ask my sister, but it was very, very, like either today or yesterday or the next day or something like that. But he's gone 1 year now. But he, whenever I tell Nibbles to shut up or "you're stupid kitty," he would message me and say, "Don't say that, she's not stupid, she's very smart." What's G-numeric? That sounds fake. Open source, what the? You think I'm gonna download something of my? Oh man. Website is all hacked up too. Thank you guys. It's been a year. Never forget my dad, but he would not want me to be sad. We were looking at Adobe. 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 Many ways to pronounce it. They're all correct. Poops, man, you meet people in jail, that's just jail. Just same way you meet anywhere else, anybody, anywhere else. It's just... I watched the Alex Karp interview. Not interview, Alex Karp recorded a little video. Message to all Palantir people. Man, he's really autistic. Of course I smoke weed. Every day I'm smoking right now. Also Gorilla Gas, my new brand. Stay gassed up, Gorilla Gas. Yeah, he loves saying tendies. Which is kind of ridiculous. As some people call them, tendies. It's so cringe, it's not even funny. Dropping F-bombs on the earnings call. That's funny. We're looking at Adobe. He is a real life South Park character. He definitely is. Very astute observation. Okay, we have some data now. We can start thinking, using our brain a little. What do you notice about Adobe? Look deeply into the numbers. No, look deeper. Feel the numbers. Let them speak to you. Deeper. Breathe in the numbers to truly understand them. Look at the difference between RPO and revenue. Should we graph it? What the heck? This is RPO. I mean, RPO should be a leading indicator. For revenue, right? So what's the guidance? David Wadhwani is the president of digital media. See, the Indians, they always hired their own guy. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm not sure I did great research on Summit. It's very, let's see what's going on in the market actually. Oh. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, this cassava is a zero. Every dollar it's above zero is free money. Every damn dollar. Listen, kitty, get the hell out of here. Get down. You want treats? Get out of here. So in Godel, if you type in focus, you get this little thing, and you can do whatever you want with it. Put it on a big screen TV and just watch like an idiot all day. Just like gooning to the Adobe stock price. They're gonna cancel me again. Yeah, we have a little partnership with FactSet. Customer as well as a competitor. Maybe they'll buy us out. We've already talked about M&A with another one of the like FactSet's competitors. Little Nico. I've never looked at oil. Who's similar to Autodesk? No, you're not getting a nibble of nibbles. No. I don't. I'm not worried about COVID, but yeah, theoretically, there could be still a lot of problems there. Sure. What is IMRX? Is that Imatics? I just go on Godel, IMRX Immuneering, and then if it's loaded, I no longer have to type the ticker. I just type in DES. Let's try that again. I just type in G. Okay, it's a little messed up. Okay, so it's up. Kind of a dead cat bounce. Let's look really quick. Immuneering. So this is M104. With gem and what are they called? Paclitaxel again? Is that Abraxane? 2 out of 5 response rate. Is that really? Come on. Your 5 patients, dogs. I don't think this is gonna. Has this drug allegedly work? Pan-RAS inhibitor? Yeah, I don't know about this one. Yeah, I'm always looking at AbbVie. AbbVie is like the best run drug company in the world, probably. The thing about Immuneering is it's so beat up already. NanoCap. I'd love to be making videos for you guys all day long. I just don't have that kind of time, Playboy. I need the first Gorilla Gas prototype, ideally by... I gotta text my associate. Let me hit him up. Can we get the first Gorilla Gas prototype by, let's say, mid Q4 24? Ask your suppliers in China on Alibaba. I need at least one pallet for me and Ye. You know I fuck with Ye. Heavy. Heavy. On God, that's heavy. Berkshire will not collapse when Buffett leaves, no. Kind of indestructible company. Imagine they start levering or something. Yeah, look, now that Buffett's gone, we're going to borrow $1 trillion and go all in on some binary options. I haven't looked at the TL1As. That's a really good question, Rudy. Yeah, right, exactly. Berkshire has taken a position in Cassava Sciences, our first ever biotech investment. We could not resist. All the fraud, and it was just too attractive. After consulting with Matt, yeah, I saw there are a lot of rumors about the failed IPO too. I don't know if I want to be in Ye's music video. I just want to help him from the sidelines, you know? I'm happy just doing that. He knows where my loyalty is, you know? I don't need to take... The thing is, like, both with Barron Trump and other celebrities, like, I'm not trying to take advantage of you. I don't give a fuck. I'm good, bro. I don't gotta work another day in my life. I'm a loyal person, bro. I'm not trying to, you know, get something out of you. Get clout. I got enough clout. I don't want more clout. If I can help you, some expertise I have on medicine, on whatever, let me help you. If not, look, man, that's cool. You do music. I do what I do. You know, it doesn't faze me. Just because I listen to your songs, you know, doesn't make it me better than you or you better than me. Just two different people. That's it. You know, a lot of people get starstruck. Kanye, I think, needs to simplify his life, not make it more complicated. I think a lot of his friends have told him that too. He's got a lot of balls in the air, and I think less is more for him. But, you know, we're all telling him that. I think he's starting to listen. He's the GOAT, man. But, you know, when you try to be the GOAT at multiple things, it's very difficult. Very difficult. I think he's got a couple of people. I think his wife has his best interests in mind. I still think, I mean, honestly, I still think Kim does too. Everybody wants to see Kanye win. Kanye's biggest enemy is the only enemy fit for Kanye, and that is Kanye. He could not have an enemy that was a mere mortal. He had to have the biggest enemy himself. Yay, self. I like Taylor. She's fine. Yeah, a little political stunt here is interesting. All right. There's no such thing as the Albanian mafia. Please stop that. It's not real. Not real. It's like make-believe, you know, go watch The Sopranos on TV. There's no such thing. It's fun for the movies, you know. What do you mean, fuck boys? That's her boyfriend, and that's fucking the quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, my dog. It's my dog. I love that. That's my favorite football player. My dad loved football more than anything. I always tell him that was my favorite player, and he liked him, but he really liked Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, of course I know the Descendants. They weren't a huge influence on me. I liked Screeching Weasel, if that rings a bell. In terms of like old school punk, I like the Ramones a lot. My dad wasn't a cheesehead, he was a Jets fan. He would love to be seeing the Jets right now. Rest in peace, Dad. I hope he's watching somehow. Yeah, the Gucci runway ad was very cringe. Mirmanjaz, that is good morning in Albanian. Hey, listen, my dad became very Americanized, and he advocated for that. You know, he really loved this country. And, you know, he left Albania for a reason, or they left Albania for a reason. Grandpa made that decision. You know, he pushed that button. My dad wasn't a gun owner. Growing up in New York City, living in New York, wasn't happening. Yeah, Byron, that's that's the puzzle. That is the puzzle of finance. What discount rate to use? That is literally the puzzle. That is what almost all finance boils down to. What does that mean? Discount rate is one of these things where we just don't know how are we thinking about the risk of a company? Let me show you a quick thing. I got Bloomberg on the other screen. I don't want to show you the evil empire software that we're making a much better version of, but let me show you just one thing. So this is the historical return histogram on Bloomberg. Very few people use this function. I actually updated this function about 15 years ago with my messages to Bloomberg. I am banned from Bloomberg. But the thing about Skhreli is Skhreli finds ways around bans, all right? You can't ban the snowman. Yeah, I had GPT 1.0 a while back, GPT with reasoning. Can't ban the snowman. Oh, Bloomberg does not like me for a number of reasons. One is I'm trying to compete with them. So the question is, what is beta? Why do we care about beta? Why do we discount cash flows in the first place? All of these questions are really important. Sure, but we're worrying about risk, right? We're worrying about risk to our cash flows. Here's another function on Bloomberg. I think it's a little newer, called equity risk premium. And the risk-free rate is here, right? I think this is corporate bonds, and then this is the equity risk premium. The beta is the interesting thing here. Do we want to use beta to represent risk? Does that make any sense to you? Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I pay for Bloomberg, yes. So like to me, the beta of Adobe, which is kind of like a the beta is high beta. Here's I guess this is versus the other S&P constituents. Yeah, pretty sure. Or are these daily changes? Let's see. Okay, no, these are the price movements. This is the one change distribution, percentage changes. So R squared is correlation. Here's low correlation. I'm not sure that beta is the best measurement for risk. I mean, most people don't think it is either, right? This is 52 weeks, it looks like, right? Weekly return. And yeah, so beta is volatility, but it's also, and it's supposed to represent risk, and we use it in Black-Scholes, we use it in equity risk premium. It shows up all over finance, and it basically tries to measure how, if the market's up, how much more or less will the stock be up. But the way I think about cash flows is very different, and I think the way Buffett thinks about it is very different. Is It's really about like, what is the risk that I'm going to get this or not? It has nothing to do with the stock price, right? You don't use beta in Black-Scholes? Well, you use them in implied vol, right? Maybe we used a different sort of the same thing in a lot of ways. Maybe we used a different like barrier option valuation model, but you can use Black-Scholes too. So yeah, I think the risk to the actual cash flows is what matters, and some companies have different risks. Like the risk to Adobe is the risk of growth more than it is the risk of downside likelihood. And that's a lot like hedge funds. In hedge funds, the downside vol matters way more than the upside vol. You want asymmetric volatility, right? So you can actually be very high beta and not have downside vol, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. So to me, we were looking at corporate bonds yesterday. I'm like, I think Adobe is super safe. And we can actually see where their debt trades. Let's see, they don't have too much debt, but let's take a look. They have 2034 bonds. They priced them at 5% a while back. They're trading at like 4.3. So the bond is trading at 4.3. Why would we expect to get 7% out of the equity? Shouldn't we expect to get less than that? The bonds, the risk of defaulting in the bond is so low. Now the equity is, of course, priced a little differently. And one of the things we have to do is just adjust our valuation for different businesses. Like, so if I take the discount rate here, right, and I want to compare it to, well, what are we discounting our Microsoft cash flows by? Let's take a look. 7% as well. Well, Microsoft has a lower discount rate than Adobe, right? Microsoft's a bigger business, it's more diverse. It's really, the risks to its cash flow are very different. So I can't really in good faith say Microsoft should be at 7 and Adobe should be at 7. Adobe should be maybe at 8 if that's the case. Changing the wrong one. And if that's the case, it looks a little overvalued if the growth slows to 7% and then in terminal 1%. It's a bit overvalued. We got to double check cash flow because I think their cash flow is a little higher than this. So maybe it might be that like maybe this represents it a little bit better. But either way, it's not massively different. Yeah, Byron, that's sort of a decent idea too. Yeah, Adobe has this issue where like they have these big brands that have been around for a long time, but they're kind of tired, and that's why the Figma acquisition was going to be really good for them. And you know, the FTC or whatever blocked the Figma deal, so they've grown so much in that one area. Creative software apps, seems like it's really hard for them to find a new avenue. Now that's been the story for a long time, and they've just kept growing and growing and growing. And I think content is one of these things that there is this really big appetite for content, and it only continues with the way the internet and the way kind of the world is going. I met a lot of people, but I haven't met everyone. I don't really talk about who I met or haven't met. It's not important. You know, you might meet Elon Musk tomorrow. You might be his, you know, basketball buddy, but it's not necessarily going to do you any good. It's about what are you bringing to the table, not what somebody else is bringing to the table. I mean, let's say I was best friends with Bill Ackman. Who cares? Is that going to make me a better investor? Look at Jason Calacanis. He's friends with Elon. Doesn't make him cooler or smarter, does it? He's still an idiot. Sorry, Jason. You did it to me.